who are you? And why the heck would you say you're on Earth?
I'd like to say that I am a very conscious African, born in Ghana, imbued with the values of the African and committed to promoting those values to ensure that the African rediscovers himself and feels proud of his heritage and also makes efforts to unite all the resources, human, material, mineral, whatever, to create a strong body that one can call a United States of Africa.
Looking through your book, Our Motherland, My Life, and Our Motherland, we believe you're talking about Africa, right? Your life. And within the book, we see a section which talks about our thought base is faulty, all right? And in your feedback, you just talked about restoration, right? So I think those two go together. Can you shed a little bit more light on why you say the thought base is faulty and where we go from there?
Okay, let me start with a simple example of when we go into universities, secondary schools, primary schools. From kindergarten, we are teaching children rhymes that are foreign. Birthday happens and everybody's singing the same happy birthday. Then when you go into the elites, they enjoy laughing and shouting how he's a good, jolly fellow. Mm-hmm. You go into the academia and all the quotations are from Aristotle. They are from Western philosophers. We want people even to write speeches. They will want to quote Abraham Lincoln. They want to quote Cecil Jones. They want to quote, names that have nothing to do with our fatherland. And it shows you clearly where our original thinking is. So you start making a statement and you already are within somebody's context. So we've lost the original thinking that most of our philosophers are now capturing. We have a situation where we talk about Western civilization as if there is nothing called African civilization, or as if there was nothing called African civilization. Those of us on the continent, when we start school, because maybe most of our professors and teachers have been educated in the Western mode, you rarely find any quotation or any great attention paid to African thought leaders. And I'm not saying that everything we studied was wrong. Yeah. I'm saying that the base was what I question.
Being that the government was a sponsor of PanAfrican for a while, where all these things were discussed, was there a feedback mechanism where these learnings, these truths which were uncovered, were fed back into a national educational policy, right? Because if we want to look at holistic development, whether from a development planning perspective and all that, to truly develop, you need people of integrity. And if people are dislocated from the authentic selves, they cannot be operating in that creative and innovative zone which solves problems, right? So was there a feedback mechanism so that our education system acknowledges the fact that this is where we are and this is where we need to be, and the content, the programming is done such that we moving in the right direction?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that all those who participated in PANAFEST, for 10 years I was chairman, saw the benefits. They added on to knowledge. They added on to questioning themselves, both here and in the diaspora. And almost all those that came from the diaspora, from the Caribbean, from Brazil, from other parts of Africa, learned something new about themselves. Because we gave opportunity for participants to mix up with the communities. Some did renaming ceremonies in the African tradition. Some even did remarrying. Some learned proverbs, the purpose of proverbs. Some, even within a short time that they had, wanted to learn a few bits and pieces of Akan, and so on. The colloquiums, the seminars, and all that also gave people the opportunity to learn more, because each side told their story. And through it, we wanted people to be conscious of the African Renaissance. But at the end of the day, we also wanted to reconcile the two sides. All that we were told out there are not true. All that we are also told here are not true. So the whole, that's why we call Uniting the African Family. That was a sub-theme of PANAFEST. Yes, but having done that, those who make policies haven't attended PANAFEST. They get a feedback. They will not attend. The bureaucrats, so it takes time. Every year, after PANAFEST, a report is written. Only God knows what is done to the report when it is sent to a specific ministry. But it's an important point. It is, maybe PANAFEST Foundation should go further than just leaving reports, on the tables of officials, and do an outreach program that will go directly to schools and teachers and get students to be interested in what goes on. I know there's a vibrant youth movement within PANAFEST that handles youth. So they also organize youth programs themselves.
Fabulous. Well, Mr. Kojo Yankah, thank you so much for your service. And you listeners out there, I recommend you get a copy of this book. We have not even scratched the surface of the wisdom embedded in this book. Thank you so much, Mr. Yankah. Listeners, you've been watching Reconcile Africa, where we have discussions that awaken us to the consciousness of the reality that we are one, while enlivening that spirit of solidarity that results in love and caring acts which uplift the global community of Africans, people of African descent, and lovers of Africa. Till next episode, thank you for watching.